Дни можно с полным основанием назвать «Украина имени Владимира Ильича Ленина». Он ее автор и архитектор.
On 24 February 2022, Russia attacked Ukraine under the pretense of a special military operation and eventually devastated and captured Ukrainian cities. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia not only upset the political balance in Eastern Europe, but it also had a significant effect on the world's recovering economy. Even though Russia and Ukraine have been holding peace negotiations, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that the country will be destroyed before it surrenders its cities to invading Russian forces. As the war between Russia and Ukraine continues, here on the Think Mode, we are bringing you some fascinating and startling facts about the Russia-Ukraine war. What led Russia to invade Ukraine? Ukraine's attack is the consequence of years of Russian President Putin's efforts to keep its neighbor on his side. But what actually sparked the conflict were Ukraine's close relations to the US and its application to join NATO. Over 7.5 million Ukrainians have fled from their nation as a result of the Russia and Ukraine war, creating the biggest refugee crisis to hit Europe since the Second World War. This is a shocking number considering the size of Ukraine's population and the fact that the country has only been independent for 31 years. The conflict has also had a disastrous impact on the economy, which will require at least $349 billion in recovery and rebuilding across the infrastructural, productive, and social sectors by 2021. This is more than 1.5 times the size of Ukraine's pre-war economy. The conflict between Russia and Ukraine was begun far earlier than February 2022, the date given by the governments of Ukraine, NATO, and the US for the start of the Russian invasion of Ukraine. Journalist Dmitry Kovalovich claims that the conflict actually began in the spring of 2014 and has continued ever since he joined a now outlawed communist group in Ukraine. Over 6.3 thousand civilians or unarmed people have reportedly died in Ukraine since the conflict began on February 2022. According to the OHCHR, over 3.2 thousand people died in March 2022, which was the biggest death toll ever. Governmental agencies in Russia and Ukraine have stated the numbers of troop deaths. However, they are currently unverifiable and should be treated with caution. After Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, the Russian military and pro-Russian forces further occupied additional Ukrainian territory. By early April, Russian forces withdrew from northern Ukraine, including the capital Kiev, after stagnating progress amid fierce Ukrainian resistance in order to focus on consolidating control over eastern and southern Ukraine. On June 2, 2022, Zelensky announced that Russia occupied approximately 20% of Ukrainian territory. The Russo-Ukrainian conflict has also included elements of hybrid warfare using non-traditional means. Both the Ukraine power grid breach in December 2015 and 2016, the first successful cyber attack on a power system, and the mass hacker supply chain attack in June 2017, which the US claimed was the largest known cyber attack, involved the use of cyber warfare by Russia. Ukrainian activities in retaliation have included the Surkov leaks in October 2016, which made 2,337 emails exposing Russian plots to annex Crimea from Ukraine and incite separatist strife in the Donbas region available for public consumption. Another front in Russia's hybrid warfare campaign against Ukraine has been the media war. After the United States, Russia is the second largest exporter of weapons worldwide. Russia exports weapons to more than 45 nations, and since 2016 has contributed almost 20% of all worldwide sales. The Russian military has consistently emphasized more than any other force, they had the most main battle tanks. At the beginning of the invasion, many Western commentators assumed the worst for Ukraine due to the overwhelming amount of armored vehicles at Russia's disposal. However, since the invasion started, Russia has lost 3,675 vehicles. Armored fighting vehicles account for the biggest share of all lost vehicles, totaling 1,865 vehicles. Though it was believed that Russia had great electronic warfare capabilities, the data from the current battle indicates that it is a force that may have the tools but lacks the support and training to employ them. The Ukrainian defense sector had a strong development. The nation served as a hub for the manufacture of weapons during the Soviet Union era. Since the beginning of the civil war in the Donbas region, where many of the defense industrial units are headquartered, in 2014, the sector has continued to collapse. With many Russians employed there, the Ukrainian defense sector was strongly dependent on its links with Russia. With a 35.5% market share, China was the country to which Ukrainian equipment was exported the most. It is unlikely that the market will return to its previous levels in the foreseeable future, given the ongoing conflict and Russia's targeting of Ukrainian defense production facilities. In contrast to Russia's armed forces, Ukraine's only had 3,143 fleets in the army, 334 fleets in the air force, and 34 fleets in the navy. Russia has 17,677 infantry combat vehicles, 17,370 main battle tanks, and 14,991 armored personnel carriers, compared to Ukraine's 1,117 infantry fighting vehicles, 368 main battle tanks, and 268 armored personnel carriers. While Ukraine's Navy only has 28 fleets and no helicopters, the Russian Navy possesses 866 fleets, including 20 attack helicopters and 155 multi-role helicopters. Thanks for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoy the video. Please give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and click the bell icon to receive additional updates.